want to sit down?
I will.
So pretty much the main thing you're doing, there's only 2 cameras.
Okay.
When you wave the little mouse cursor around, you have a choice down here between this one and this one.
Okay.
This
and
one
when
is the
they
podium.
Speak, go close.
This one is the wide shot.
Okay.
When people are clapping and going nuts or whatever, you want the wide shot,
Yeah.
and otherwise you want the podium shot.
Okay.
And that's all there is to it.
Okay.
Do you need an audio feed over here?
I'm sorry?
Did you need an audio feed over here? Or you guys have it?
I think we have one already set up.
Okay.
Jenna, when you see Andrew, would you ping him real quick? I'm just a little worried that these cameras may be just slightly out of focus. What? When you see him. Close-up camera is slightly out of focus.
Yeah, that's because people are blocking the shot. I'll fix it.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. All right. Well, this is indeed a good morning, a long time coming. Thank you all for being here for the opening of Light Rail between the Eastside and Seattle. Claudia Balducci. I am a King County Council member and Sound Transit Board member, and incidentally, thank you, Senator. Incidentally, I've worked on this project for a decade or two, so I'm super excited. Let's get this started. First off, I want to invite to the stage our county executive and Sound Transit Board member to give a special welcome, Gurmai Zahalai. Please come on up.
Good morning, everybody. Who's ready to make history today? Who's ready to usher in a new chapter for our region? Is East King County in the building? East King County, make some noise. Is South King County in the building? Is North King County in the building? Is Pierce County in the building? Is Snohomish County in the building? Is Seattle in the building? My name is Gurmai Zahalai. I'm your county executive, and it's an honor to welcome you to the grand opening of the Crosslake Connection. For the first time anywhere on the planet, a train will cross a large body of water over a floating bridge. That means thousands of you will be able to take high-capacity mass transit from the east to the west, to the north, to the south, and all the way back again. Today's the day when we transform into the world-class region that we all deserve. When Sound Transit goes from two separate lines to one interconnected system that you can take to every corner of our region to get to work, to get to school, to shop, and to play. In addition to the Crosslake Connection, we're also here today to celebrate the grand opening of two new stations, the Mercer Island Station and Judkins Park Station. I can't tell you how big of a deal this is for the CD. As Council President Joy Hollingsworth likes to say, CD or see me. Is Joy here? Not yet. She will be here soon. I hope everyone around the region will get to know Sam Smith Park, where we are right now, the Northwest African American Museum, Garfield High School, Washington Middle School, and their renowned music program. By the way, is the Washington Middle School music program in the building today? They are still trying to close a $50,000 gap to continue their program for 2 more years. So everybody please support Washington Middle School. We're now one community, one region, supporting each other. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to everyone who made this possible today. Of course, my wonderful council colleague, Claudia Balducci. Our Sound Transit staff, our CEO, Dow Constantine, our chair, Dave Summers, all of our Sound Transit board members, make some noise. The operators from King County Metro, where's King County Metro? Our engineers, our construction workers, our planners, our elected officials from every level of government, transit advocates who kept us pushing, and of course, all of you, the taxpayers and riders, we appreciate you. We have an exciting program today, and I'm delighted to welcome the Muckleshoot Canoe family to honor the native people of this land and ground us in the ancestral significance and history of this beautiful place. Thank you so much, everybody.
Muckleshoot Canoe family for grounding us with that wonderful opening. Let's give them a round of applause one more time, please. Well, as I said, good morning and welcome to the opening celebration for the Crosslake Connection. We are so delighted to be here together today to celebrate an accomplishment decades in the making. As I said, I'm King County Council Member and Sound Transit Board Member Claudia Balducci, and I am beyond excited to be here with you all today. I want to introduce my family. Please wave. My husband Jim, our kiddo Victor. I've been telling people all week that Victor was 2.5 years old when I started working on this project. You'll observe the facial hair on our 20-year-old college student. And we're going to ride it today, so let's get going. I am so excited to introduce our first speaker, someone who has been a steadfast champion for transit and the Puget Sound region, truly the godmother of Link Light Rail, our Senator Patty Murray.
Grounding us today, and to all of the elected officials here today who you will be hearing from. And most importantly, I want to thank the people who built this. All of our union workers and right behind them, all the voters who have consistently been behind this and voted to make sure we have the resources to do this. Thank you to everyone. Let me just say this. We are building the best light rail system in the entire United States of America, right here. And as all of you know, I have been here from day one. And as a leader on the Appropriations Committee, I've been fighting for this project every step and every dollar of the way. It is always so incredible to see just how far Washington State is making those federal dollars go. And in the case of Sound Transit, quite literally. Because with this new connection, you can now take the two line all the way from Redmond to Linwood. That is amazing. Today, when these doors open to these new stations, we're going to be opening countless doors to families who can now travel around the Puget Sound region and specifically across Lake Washington easier than ever. No traffic, your hand never has to touch that steering wheel. You can actually look out and appreciate the view and that beautiful view of Mount Rainier and the water. Look right at it. Don't think about the traffic. After years of wondering and people asking, when is light rail coming to Bellevue? Families now have the answer, about every 8 minutes. And there's a new question that people are going to start asking with so many options now at their fingertips. Where do they want to go next? Starting today, you can take light rail from a dinner in downtown Bellevue to an evening show across the lake at the Paramount or Fifth Avenue Theater. Workers in Redmond can take the light rail from the office to the Chinatown International District to meet friends for hot pot or boba, or to Lumen Field to catch a Hawks game. And families can come here to Judkins Park and enjoy all the many parks in this area, or go to the Bellevue Botanical Gardens. With this light rail extension, just about wherever you are, you can find just about whatever you're looking for, only a couple of minutes away. So no fuss, no traffic, just tap your card or your phone and on the go. So this connection that we're opening today is going to connect students to campuses, workers to their jobs, and families to loved ones, and a lot more. I have always said, investing in public transit is investing in opportunity and connection, and it's worth it. And here we are today. Look at this crowd. I have worked with to keep this project on track over many years, and I still remember some pretty tough times a couple of decades ago or more, fighting alongside Joni Earl, who is with us today, to make sure there was a future for Sound Trappist. You know, people got together and they had a dream, they had a vision. And even in the tough times, Joni, we did not give up. We kept our mind on that dream, we kept our eyes on that vision, and we looked at the future, and today that future is here. And it even came with some futuristic marvels of engineering. We're going to be able to ride the world's first train on a floating bridge, and that is pretty darn cool. By saying Sound Transit is delivering the most ambitious expansion of public transit in America, and I am going to keep fighting to make sure Congress funds it. So, everybody knows it was a long road to get here today, but from now on, getting here will be just a short ride on the light rail. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Senator Murray. She is not kidding that we have shot this thing back to life, and Senator Murray was there to do it since the beginning. Now I am delighted to welcome and introduce another powerhouse leader and steadfast champion for this project and our region, our U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell. Welcome.
Senator Murray is the grandmother of Sound Transit. Godmother. I got a better title. She is fighting every day for transit funding and the lead appropriator in the United States Senate on the Democratic side. She is the GOAT of transit funding in the United States of America. The greatest of all time. Back there, so trust me, she deserves that. I haven't seen this many people since we celebrated the Seahawks victory in a great parade. And this too is another historic moment. Thank you, Councilmember Balducci. Thank you to Sound Transit Chair Dave Summers. Thank you to Dow Constantine for your role both as a county exec and a Sound Transit board member, and now leading the charge to get this project over the goal line. And thank you, Gurmai, thank you, Mayor Wilson, thank you to so many other people. I know that Chair Teresa Hudson, former Mayor Greg Nichols, Seattle Building Trades Secretary Monty Anderson, and Northwest African Museum CEO Brad Bird. They're all here. They've all played a big role in this. Thank you so much. And I too want to thank the many construction workers and the trades for their tireless work on this. I mean, they survived COVID, they survived downturns, they survived all of this and kept us going. And why are we here today? We're here because Puget Sound is an economic engine for the country. We know how to build planes and trucks and satellites, and now we're leading the way on next generation energy. Puget Sound in its economy is larger than the economy of 36 states. But what do we need? Well, we know we need to connect people. And with this expansion and this backbone, we have that future growth. Now, Alberto Ortol, who lives about a mile from this station, can take the light rail to his job as a manager at Microsoft. The trip takes about 35 minutes. He's so excited about this flexibility to get to work quickly after a morning meeting or get home after a late night, and on days that he does drive, afternoon rush hour traffic has been so bad he'd had to leave at 3 p.m. or wait till 7 p.m. just to avoid it. Well, no one likes crosstown traffic, but now Alberto can take light rail to work, and we can sit here today and celebrate this facility that the entire region can come and celebrate the Northwest African Museum and Jimi Hendrix Park. where music and the legend is accessible to now everybody in the region. You know, I worked in business for a while. I can tell you all the young innovators wanted one thing. They wanted to be close to Sound Transit. And who can blame them? Because mass transit is now making life more affordable. It is 22.7 miles from downtown Redmond to SeaTac Airport. For a car getting an average gas trip, that's about a gallon of gas. And because of President Trump's illegal war, now we're paying $5.50 a gallon, which we can't afford, but Sound Transit is delivering you with just $3 for a move across the lake. So, we want the Sonics back. We don't want to pay $30 to park. We want the World Cup to be a success, Dow. And we want the first ever floating bridge with a light rail system that goes across it, and we're here to celebrate. So thank you, engineers at WSP. Thank you for the UW engineering and engineers for making this possible. Thank you to the federal support, which this has received $4 billion in federal grants and is the largest single user of federal subsidized loan programs, which has saved Puget Sound taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars by this success. So let's get on with the celebration. Let's continue to fight for transit. We'll have another big bill before the Congress this year, and our colleagues are already trying to X out transit. Today they need to look at Seattle and look at this project and say, this is making a very big economy work for the nation. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Senator Cantwell, for all your support. None of this would be possible without our leaders in the federal government. We owe you a great debt of gratitude. Just a little side note, we've done a lot of these openings. This has got to be the first one I think I've ever seen where we have transit furries in the audience. Hey, you guys, welcome.
We didn't realize Redmond did it too. Redmond had it too.
Right. Now I would like to welcome a leader who has been with this agency's mission from the trenches of King County and the Sound Transit Board to the pinnacles of Olympia. Another great leader and supporter of transit, our Governor Bob Ferguson. Welcome.
You guys ready to ride this train in a few minutes? We have a lot of speakers, so I'll be short and sweet. First things first, though, Senator Cantwell, we are indeed going to bring back those Seattle Supersonics. We're going to make that happen, everybody. I've got three thank yous to three groups. First, to the visionaries who conceived it, who believed in it, and who stuck with it. Give them a round of applause for this day. Number two, to the public who said yes to that vision. Without their support, this day does not happen. Give them a round of applause. And third, and most importantly, to the workers who built this bridge, who improved this bridge, who maintain this bridge, who operate this bridge year after year, decade after decade. Give them the biggest round of applause. The visionaries, the public, and our workforce. That is the combination, everybody, that makes Washington State great and makes historic days like this, that don't come along very often, but make historic days like this possible. Thanks so much, everybody. Let's ride that train.
All right, moving right along. Our next speaker is somebody who has been fighting for light rail for a very long time. We'll continue to fight for light rail until we get to Everett. Snohomish County Executive and the Chair of the Sound Transit Board, Dave Summer.
Thank you, President. Oh, what a great crowd. It's so exciting to be here today. And I do want to thank our senators. I'm not going to refer to you as goats, but you're the best. We have the best senators and the best congressional delegation in the United States. Let's give thank you. So, you know, in the last 24 months, we've opened a number of stations. I think I've been in 5 ribbon cuttings. It's an exciting expansion of the system. This is going to be almost the last one for a while. The biggest, for sure, but we'll be opening another station here in the coming months. But where else in the world will you be able to go on light rail going 55 miles an hour across a glacial lake with Mount Rainier on one side, Mount Baker on the other side? This is a world class, this is unprecedented anywhere in the world. Congratulations, Seattle. Now, scratch that. Congratulations, Greater Seattle, Eric. Yeah. So last year, 2 years ago now, we opened Linwood up into Everett. Now, and I've given permission to Mayor Bernie of Redmond, she will be able to advertise that Redmond is a southern gateway to Snohomish County. So, you know, we've had challenges in the past. Joni, good friend, shepherded us through some difficult times. We've had more since. We've got some now, but we are going to work together through our issues to build the world-class system that connects us all even more tightly than we already are. But we're going to build a world-class system. We're going to work through our challenges together and build the system our region deserves. And thanks to the voters, thanks to the riders, you guys made this happen. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chair Summers. Can't wait to be there when we cut the ribbon in Everett and complete the system we've promised for so long. As has been said, we're not just opening across the bridge, we're opening 2 new stations here today. And one of those stations is right over here. There's a line out in front of it of people waiting to ride right here in Judkins Park. It will serve a community that has not had this kind of service in the past and that has a history with transportation that we need to acknowledge. And I am delighted to introduce Brandon Bird, President and CEO of the Northwest African American Museum, right here. Please visit. Take a light rail trip to visit it to share some of what this station connection means for NAM and the Judkins Park community.
Morning, everyone. How excited are we? Today we are celebrating more than an opening of a station. We are celebrating connection, access, and possibility. The arrival of the Crosslake Connection, and more specifically the Judkins Station, or as our amazing founding board member, Janie Hendricks, calls it the Hendricks Station. And I do side with Janie, given my role. This represents a powerful investment in the future of Seattle, and more so in the Central District, a neighborhood that has long been the cultural and historic heartbeat of Black life in our city. For generations, the CD has been a place of resilience, creativity, and community. And yet, like, unfortunately, many Black neighborhoods across our nation, it has experienced displacement and disconnection. What we mark today is an important step to reestablishing meaningful connections, ensuring that more people can access, engage with, and invest in this community. Just steps from here sits a beautiful museum. We call it NAM. What we do is use Black heritage to cultivate healing and hope for all. This new light rail station makes our mission that much more accessible than ever before to carrying out what we are proud to do. It equally means that a family from the Eastside or a visitor exploring downtown can visit us with ease to learn, to reflect, to be inspired. And as people arrive here, they will be welcomed by art that tells a story. The inclusion of work by Barbara Earl Thomas in this station is deeply meaningful. Barbara is not only a celebrated artist, she is part of NAM's own story. As a founding figure connected to the museum's early vision and programming when we first opened, her work represents a full circle moment where the creative spirit that helped shape our beautiful museum now helps welcome a more inclusive public to our home. Her work reflects the richness of Black imagination, memory, and identity. It helps us to ensure that public infrastructure should be, and it now currently is, a canvas for cultural expression. This is infrastructure that moves people, and through art will move minds. This station strengthens the connection between our neighborhood and the broader region, and in doing so, strengthens our ability at the museum to reach more people, share more stories, and deepen our impact. So today, we celebrate not just a station, but a bridge. A bridge to history, a bridge to culture, a bridge to one another. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing and celebrating with each and every one of you after the ribbon cutting ceremony centered in community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President and CEO Bird. And in addition to the ways in which this line will connect us together, we always talk about how it will grow our economy and connect us to jobs. And we would not be here today without the support of some of our great business partners. And I am delighted to welcome to the stage Teresa Hudson, Vice President of Microsoft and Chair of the Seattle Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce. Please come on up.
What a wonderful crowd. Thank you to everyone who made this day possible. So my very first field trip growing up in Western New York was to the Erie Canal. I grew up in Western New York understanding that the reason for the region's economic success was actually transportation infrastructure. The Erie Canal created a corridor where none had existed before and was such a novel idea that it was called a folly. Like the Erie Canal, we applied ingenuity and creativity to create new opportunity, but this time on a floating bridge. Today marks an extraordinary milestone for Puget Sound because it's the first time that we have an integrated regional light rail system. It's not just a long-fought victory of our elected officials, of labor, and the business community. It's an engineering achievement to take passengers between Seattle and the Eastside with trains for the first time going across a floating bridge. It certainly wasn't us alone, but Microsoft has been one of dozens of businesses that helped our community make this weekend's milestone a reality. Since 2002, we have given over $400 million of our own money by donating the land, building the station, improving stormwater systems, building pedestrian paths, and creating bike paths next to the Microsoft campus. We embraced this vision early on, 24 years ago, knowing what it would mean for our employees and the communities where we work and live. Light rail across Lake Washington required 5 local ballot measures between 2007 and 2019. Every time, Microsoft joined major employers and organized labor to support Sound Transit, working alongside other patient organizations and voters year after year after year. The business community has always seen transportation as a priority, but as everyone here knows, it's hard, it's expensive, and it takes years to see results. Delivering this milestone is remarkable for its ambition, for its engineering, for how it galvanized the public to maintain funding, that's a big deal, and because it's a tri-county lift, which is unusual. Businesses, both on their own and through the Washington Roundtable and the Seattle Metro Chamber and other organizations, use their voices to advocate for the system. And we encourage our employees to get out and vote. Not just major employers like Microsoft, Amazon, and Boeing, but thousands of small businesses and the engineering, architecture, and construction firms that have always prioritized transportation, investing time and resources since the beginning. And of course, we've done this alongside labor and the people who actually build and operate the trains. The business community has also consistently supported elected leaders who share the vision of a Puget Sound region collected by light rail. This includes 4 governors, 3 county executives, 7 mayors, and 4 Sound Transit CEOs. And Dow was only that in, I think, 2 of those jobs. Microsoft is proud to be in a community where public-private partnership means we can deliver the infrastructure we need for the people to live and work here. I'm proud to be joined by Alice Jala, whose facilities team coordinated Microsoft's investment in the Redmond Technology Station Bridge, and Amy Coleman, our Chief People Officer, who can now tell our employees that as the largest employer on the East Side, they now have an easier and more cost-effective way to get to and from work. I hope people will remember this public-private recipe because it works. It's a recipe that rebuilt the 520 bridge, and it's the one that made today's milestone possible. We're delighted that this new connection will provide new opportunities for our region's future. And it's a really good reminder of something we know well at Microsoft, and you've often heard Brad Smith say. You can't have a healthy community without a healthy business. You can't have healthy business without a healthy community, and you can't have a healthy community without a healthy business. So I'm hopeful that one day our kids and grandkids will be able to say that they took a field trip across the lake in the first ever train on a floating bridge. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Teresa. And that's a great reminder that it's not just the stations and the rails itself, but the infrastructure around those stations that makes it accessible to everyone. The bridges, the pedestrian bridges, the bike lanes, the sidewalks. And how are we doing? We doing okay? Ready? We're more than halfway there, all right? But a lot of that infrastructure comes from, we don't just serve places, we don't just serve people, we serve cities. And this new line will connect cities that have been connected in a way that they've never been connected before. So our next speakers are going to speak to the impact on and for our growing cities. And I'm stretching here so that we can get, okay, I want to invite Mayor Katie Wilson from the city of Seattle. Welcome.
As part of the celebration today. Here in Sam Smith Park, named after Seattle's first Black City Council member, to mark the Crosslake Connection and the opening of Judkins Park Station. As many of you know, I am a lifelong transit rider, car-free Seattleite, so I have spent a lot of time on our buses and our trains, and also organizing to make them work better. Today is a day when our transit system gets so much better, thanks to the vision and hard work of people here today and many, many others. We have so much to be grateful for and proud of. Today is a huge day, and there is also so much more to do to actually deliver frequent, reliable, affordable transit to people across Seattle and across our region. Having a car should not be a requirement to enjoying and building the life of one's choosing. Many people in our region do not own cars for whatever reasons, because of disability, because it costs too much, because they want to live a car-free lifestyle. And many people who are forced into car dependency are straddled with long, expensive, frustrating, unreliable commutes, or live in a world filled with places that they simply can't access. Seattle and our whole region deserve better. I know that because voters here have cast their ballots time and again to support the vision of irresistibly good public transit. Yes. And today we take an enormous, unprecedented step toward fulfilling that promise. So whether you're commuting from the East Side to your job in downtown Seattle, tapping to pay your way from Capitol Hill to a concert in Redmond's Merrimore Park, riding from the Central District to a favorite restaurant in Bellevue, exploring the region as a visitor, or just living your life, as of today, you can do all that and more without the expense or inconvenience of driving. There is nowhere else in the world where you can ride a train along the water with views like these. And did you know we have a floating bridge? Every speaker has to mention that. Now it's my turn. So going back at least half a century. We have proved that yes, we can do big things. And we channeled the spirit that we need to meet the challenges ahead of us to deliver the full vision of ST3 that voters were promised. At the very beginning, Councilmember Balducci said that her son was 2.5 years old when she started working on this project, and he's now 20. Well, my daughter is 2.5 years old, and I am really looking forward to what lines we might be opening when she's 20 years old. As a new member of the Sound Transit Board. So let's celebrate today, enjoy the trip, and come together to build a future for our region where people are connected with world-class public transit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Wilson. Yeah, I think the first child left her speaking notes. Thank you. Thank you. I am with you there. Let's open all the lines before the next generation is 20 years old. All right, now I am delighted to invite my colleagues because this line connects east to west. And from east to west, let me invite our Redmond Mayor and Sound Transit Board member Angela Burney, our Bellevue Mayor Mo Malakutian, and our Mercer Island Mayor David Rosenbaum. Welcome everybody.
Hi everyone, I'm the Mercer Island Mayor, Dave Rosenbaum. As we watch the first ever train, as other people have mentioned, to cross over a floating bridge is emblematic of the Northwest spirit of ingenuity. Our communities, our industries, and our collective spirit have been built, nurtured, and emboldened by those who have said, yes we can, when others have claimed it couldn't be done. Visions that have had their genesis here in Puget Sound have proven to change the world. Now with the Crosslake Connection complete, our communities will be even more intertwined, fostering the next generation of innovators and builders, inspired by the Northwest spirit of trailblazing. Right in the middle of all this is my community of Mercer Island. We're excited to celebrate this milestone today. We can't wait to welcome you to explore all that we have to offer. Great food, beautiful parks, unique small businesses offering all types of shopping opportunities, and all at the center of the hall, right in the middle of Lake Washington. We look forward to seeing you all on the rocks soon.
For years, the most reliable cross-lake transportation plan has been leave early and hope. And the only thing truly connecting Bellevue and Seattle was a shared frustration with I-90 and 520 traffic. Today, we are upgrading our relationship status to officially connected. This didn't happen overnight. It took decades of vision and the hard work of thousands of people, from leaders across the region, to the engineers, to the crew who did the heavy lifting day after day to get this done. To everyone who built this, thank you. And in Bellevue, we are ready. If you don't know yet, Bellevue is better in person. Come see us, great food, culture, arts, and parks, and now a train that gets you here without negotiating with the universe. See you in Bellevue. Thank you.
Also not 6 feet tall. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm Redmond Mayor Angela Burney, Sound Transit Board member and System Expansion Chair, and I am thrilled to be right here with all of you today. and to finally celebrate the connection of the 2 and 1 lines. So much is challenging in our world today, but the completion of the Crosslake Connection shows the world what can happen when we work together over decades to achieve a common goal. What once was thought impossible, including light rail on a floating bridge, is now here and can inspire us for what can be achieved when we work together. The vision to build a light rail system connecting the Eastside to Seattle and beyond is turning into so much more than just transportation. Redmond took the opportunity of trains coming to town and turned it into vibrant, walkable neighborhoods with housing, jobs, beautiful trails and green spaces, bustling bars and restaurants, and so much more, turning a once sleepy suburb into a city. The promise of light rail and what it can catalyze is here now in Redmond. Thank you all for your commitment to the vision of a regional light rail. There's more work to do, but for today, let's celebrate this monumental achievement. And come visit Redmond. We're just now a short train ride away.
All right, thank you, mayors. Thank you so much. We're going to visit all of your cities, and the next, I want to say, this project, of course, could never happen. No project like this could ever happen without the people whose expertise, whose hands, whose backs, whose tools build these projects. And so I'm now delighted to welcome to the stage Monty Anderson from the Seattle Building Trades to tell us about how they all got it done.
Well, thank you very much. Like I said, my name is Monty Anderson. Might be a little off here because I'm not used to being thanked for all of our work, so thank you very much, especially the senators. Sound Trans has been a part of labor since 1999 when we first started, and they committed to using union labor and apprenticeship. Right? So they've been part of it. And I'll tell you what, I usually have a joke that we like shoveled jobs instead of ribbon cuttings. That means the job's over. Not on this one. I mean, I'm a 4th generation construction worker here in Seattle. We've worked on everything from the Ballard blocks. We built the King Dome, tore it down, and built floating bridges. But nobody, even when we did the tunnel, we thought, oh, look at us. Nobody thought that we would be able to do this. And I'll tell you what, the men and women out there, we got there at dark 30. We took 0 days off during COVID to get this done because it was important. And I'll tell you what, we worked in you work in a lot of scary situations, but I'll tell you what, nothing is, I shouldn't say scarier, but tougher than working over the water. Everybody will tell you that. We'll work in skyscrapers, we'll go in tunnels, but when you're over the water and you get there at dark 30, cars are going by at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, you can't see the bottom, that's when you realize that, hey, you've got to be a trained professional. And I'm here to tell you right now, Sound Transit never once ever said, hurry up. Never told our workers to take a shortcut. Never told those people down in the trenches there in the morning, hey, we got to get this done. They are always about safety, and I appreciate that. Now, was the deciding vote for the Sonics to come back, this rail being done? I think so. But like I said, I just want to thank everybody because we go out there, we work every day. We don't ask for much. Usually when people give us accolades, we just say, hey, thank you, but just put it on the check. But this time we're going to take the accolades, and we love it, and we love everybody we work for. There's not enough people to thank here. And like I said, I am so proud to be able to represent the men and women who are out there today. So we've got work going, we've got weekend work going on today, making this a livable place for all of us, for transit. And once again, thank you everybody in Sound Transit and the senators and the mayors and everybody, especially the voters. I've been phone banking for these things since '08, and I'll tell you what, I made over 700 phone calls and 699 of them were okay, and every once in a while, right? You know, it's funny when you phone bank somebody and they're in their 80s and they're like, "What's this gonna do for me?" And it's a hard thing to answer, right? You're like, I don't know. We've got a kid that's 2 years old that might be writing it when he's in college, but I don't know what to tell you. It's always, phone banking's the toughest you can do, but if you believe in something and you know it's right and you can leave a legacy and leave this world better than it is, that's what Sound Transit is. So once again, I want to thank everybody.
Thank you so much, Monty. And I also want to give a shout out to the unionized workforce that operates this system. And that is our 18 and 19 workers. They are out there all day, they are out there all night, they are the ones who get us around safely. Monty talked very meaningfully about legacy. And our next speaker is somebody who can proudly claim this system as a legacy of their leadership. Please welcome former Seattle Mayor Greg Nichols, whose early and trailblazing leadership truly helped shape the system we're celebrating today. Come on up.
Well, good morning. I think it's still morning. We've reached that wonderful point in the agenda where everything has been said, but not yet by everybody. I am very happy to be here with you today. I am not quite embracing the idea that I'm a historical figure. But yesterday, Sharon and I got to take our 2 kids, their spouses, and our 5 grandkids on a preview ride. And that brought it home to me why we spent so much time and energy over the decades to make this day possible. Those 5 kids, ages 5, 7, and 10, will be the ones who will benefit from this most. And all of the kids here today are going to be right there with them. There are a few people who need to be acknowledged again and again. Joni Earl, over here. She literally brought Sound Transit back from the dead. We were in the valley of death, and nobody thought we would survive. We were political roadkill. And she took the reins of the agency. She restored our credibility. She made sure we were professional and on time and on budget, and she should deserve and needs to be thanked very, very much. While we were in the Valley of Death, we had some great champions in Washington, D.C. Senator Patty Murray, foremost among them. Former Congressman Norm Dick, Senator Maria Cantwell were there to make sure that we got a fair shake when we went back to ask for money. And the combination of our reputation being restored and the muscle that we had in Washington, D.C. made it possible. There was no political will to go back to the ballot after the loss of roads and transit statewide in 2007. But the board of Sound Transit was willing to roll up their sleeves, and in combination with Joni and the planning staff, we came up with a plan, and we got 15 votes. And if any of those board members are still here, able to stand up, I wish you would. But they were willing to put this on the ballot. Bear Stearns went belly up about 6 weeks before that election. WAMU went belly up a few weeks before that election. We had the worst financial headlines in my lifetime. And the voters of Puget Sound, of our Sound Transit District, overwhelmingly said, yes, we believe in the future. Right now it's tough times, but we are going to move forward. And we did with a 3-county vote to say yes to Sound Transit 2. So to everyone who is here today,
thank you for the part that you played. If you were a worker on the project, if you were a volunteer in the campaign, if you were on the board, if you were on the staff, or if you simply said, yes, I will be willing to put my money where my mouth is, thank you and enjoy the ride.
Thank you, Mayor. I think Mayor is a title you carry for life. Yes, thank you, Mayor. Okay. I just feel it necessary to say, in addition to all of those folks, we could never, ever have put light rail on a floating bridge, making history, without the incredible partnership, leadership, and work of WSDOT, the Washington State Department of Transportation. All we've been being asked, the board members, the spokespeople, we've all been being asked, is the bridge safe? And because of WSDOT, we can confidently say, of course the bridge is safe. So good job, you all. All right, our final speaker on the ride. It is my pleasure to introduce another leader who has been on this project since the beginning as county executive and as a board member, and now as our CEO, Dow Constantine.
Oh my goodness, here we are. Yesterday, our friends at the Transportation Choices Coalition, let's hear it. They helped lead the campaigns for every measure, and they had a big celebration over in Bellevue in the afternoon. And I was sitting on my way home on I-90 as my daughter was texting, asking where the heck dinner was. And as that dinner was getting cold, sitting at the restaurant where it had already been ordered, and I was watching the gauge on the 35-year-old truck I was driving inch up toward overheating in a dead stop on I-90. I was thinking, tomorrow cannot come soon enough. Well, friends, tomorrow has arrived. I want to thank everyone who organized today's event. I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Microsoft. As of a few minutes from now, only 28 minutes from where you're sitting. And I want to thank all of our speakers, all the elected officials. I see you there. Those have been mentioned, those who have not. Every one of you has had a hand in this success, and all of our community partners. I want to take a moment just to quickly thank my predecessors. You've heard a lot about Joni Earl, who is kind of the lead CEO of all time. Thank you, Joni. But I see right behind you, Peter Rogoff and Jerron Sporman. Thank you both for being here. I want to thank Bob White and Mike Harbour. I want to thank Brooke Bellman and Julie Tim. I want to thank everybody who took the helm of this sometimes difficult to steer ship and got us to where we are today. Well, as you've heard, we are quickly running out of superlatives to describe the Crosslake Connection and this moment and what this moment means for the region. But that just shows how important it is. A decade ago, last week, I stood on the platform at the University of Washington station and welcomed the first Sound Transit 2 project, 3 miles of tunnel between downtown Seattle and the University of Washington. And I talked about how my baby daughter would grow up with this system, and how the system we dreamed and planned in the years prior would become part of everyday life for her generation. Well, she's a middle schooler now, and she's off at a state gymnastics tournament. Can't be here to see Daddy's big moment. But she's not the only one who's grown up in the blink of an eye. Since that day in March of 2016, when we opened the 19th and 20th stations in our system, we have expanded 7 more times, and today we bring the 49th and 50th stations online. Back in December, when we cut the ribbon in Federal Way, earlier than anyone thought we were going to manage it, I quipped that the best compliment you can give a piece of infrastructure is to take it for granted. Well, I'm not sure that will ever be the case with the Crosslake Connection. Having had a few preview rides on the bridge and seeing our two great dormant-ish volcanoes on either side, and when the mountains are out, and seeing the sun glisten off the water when the sun is out, it is a reminder of what makes this place so remarkable. I've seen this challenge from many different perspectives. As a young staffer for County Council member Greg Nichols, as a state representative on the House Transportation Committee serving with Ruth Fisher, as a member of the board for 20 years and the board chair as King County executive for what to you, Pete, probably seemed like forever. And now as CEO, I've really had the opportunity to work on all of this in many different ways, and to see all of the people whose vision and determination and creativity made this possible. And that vision goes back to the 1960s and 70s, when people like Jim Ellis said we should build a mass transit system and we should bring rail across a bridge and unite East and West. Well, for 50 years, we have been working toward this goal. And visionaries have carried it forward, like Ruth Fisher, like Joni Earl, like Greg Nichols, and so many more. That includes the dedicated professionals and frontline workers and our outside experts who dedicated part or in many cases all of their careers to the cause. And most of all, it includes each of you, the people of our region. You voted yes over and over again at the ballot box and with your feet. You approved Sound Transit 2 in 2008, and since then you have made transit an essential part of your life. For proof, look no further than the huge Seahawks celebration we had a few weeks back. Yes, it was a great celebration of our great football team. We also smashed all transit records for this region of all time. And further proof will come today when the Crosslake Connection opens. Folks will be able to, by the thousands, get to the Mariners game to watch another Mariners win. And by the tens and hundreds of thousands to go out and lift their voices for their democracy. That's why we're doing this. That is why we're doing this, so that the civic and cultural and economic life of our region can grow atop a foundation of safe, fast, reliable transit. We have lamented for so long how far behind our region has been on transit. How we missed our chance.
County Executive Garmani Zahalai back up one last time to tell us what's going to happen and how we can ride the train in just moments. We're almost there. All right, let's go.
Thank you again to everyone who made this day possible. Sound Transit, organized labor that constructed and continues to operate this system, business community, elected officials at every single level. I also want to acknowledge that our amazing King County Council representative for this district is here, Rhonda Lewis. Give her a round of applause, everybody. Thank you also to one of our greatest transit champions in the history of this region who emceed this whole event, Councilmember questions for you. East King County, are you ready to cut the ribbon? South King County, are you ready to cut the ribbon? North King County, are you ready to cut the ribbon? Pierce County, are you ready? Snohomish County, are you ready? Seattle, are you ready? Everyone in the Puget Sound region, are you ready? Let's start moving right outside. We're going to begin cutting the ribbon now. Thank you all so much. One more thing.
Just elected officials, board members, that way, partners, and all the speakers, please follow the staff that way for the ribbon cutting. Thank you.
You're here.